Ethan Moore, you just said you want to fight for custody. That's right. Fine. Then wait. Chapter 10. The 20 minutes passed in silence. Ethan paced the tiny room, his expensive shoes clicking on the worn linoleum. My mother-in-law had settled onto the plastic chair, arms crossed, her expression a mixture of contempt and impatience. She kept glancing at her phone, then at the door, then back at me, as if expecting my farmer father to arrive on a tractor. I sat on the edge of the bed, one hand resting on my stomach, the other clutching my phone. The pregnancy test was still in my pocket, its edges digging into my thigh, a small, constant reminder of what was at stake. You're really going through with this charade? My mother-in-law snorted. Vivian, I've known you for 3 years. Your father works the land somewhere in the Midwest. You've got no money, no connections, and no future. Just take the $50,000 and save us all the embarrassment. I didn't answer. Ethan stopped pacing and looked at me. For a moment, something flickered in his eyes, uncertainty maybe, or the ghost of old affection. But it vanished as quickly as it appeared. Vivian, I'm not trying to be cruel, he said, his voice softer than before. But you have to be realistic. A child needs stability, a home, schools, healthcare. Can you provide any of that on a cashier's salary? I can provide more than you think. He shook his head, exasperated. You've always been stubborn. It's one of the things I used to admire about you. But stubbornness won't raise a child. My mother-in-law checked her watch. 20 minutes. Where's this farmer of yours? Did his tractor break down? As if on cue, the sound of engines rumbled from outside. Not one engine, many. Deep, powerful growls that vibrated through the thin walls of my studio apartment. Ethan walked to the window and pulled back the cheap curtain. His face went pale. What the hell? My mother-in-law joined him. Her jaw dropped. I stayed on the bed, not moving. Outside, a convoy of black SUVs had pulled up in front of the rundown building. 7 of them, all identical, all with tinted windows that reflected the gray afternoon sky. Men in dark suits were getting out, their movements synchronized, professional. They fanned out, securing the perimeter, speaking into earpieces. Then the center SUV's door opened, and my father stepped out. Arthur Stone was 72 years old, but he looked a decade younger. 6'2", with silver white hair swept back from a commanding face, he wore a bespoke charcoal suit that cost more than Ethan's entire company. He moved with the easy confidence of a man who had built an empire from nothing and had never once apologized for it. Behind him came my mother, Elena Stone, elegant in a navy dress and pearls. And behind them, my 2 older brothers, Marcus and Vincent, both in identical black suits, both with the same cold, assessing gaze that had intimidated business rivals on 3 continents. Ethan stumbled back from the window. Vivian, who are these people? My mother-in-law's face had gone the color of old cheese. That's not. I stood up slowly, smoothing my blouse, and walked to the door. My father, I said, is Arthur Stone, chairman of Stone Industries. Perhaps you've heard of it. Ethan's legs seemed to give out. He grabbed the back of the plastic chair to steady himself. Stone Industries? The conglomerate? The one that owns shipping ports, real estate,